Hello, my name is Ralf Friedrichs. I'm an addiction recovery coach and the host of the Take Your Life Back Today show. As an addiction recovery coach, I want to share something with you. And let me be crystal clear to leave an everlasting impact upon you. Just imagine being buried alive. You're in the coffin, but you know you're not dead. You don't know how to get out of that coffin, so you tried lifting the lid. But the enormous weight of the dirt upon the lid prevents you from opening that lid. You just think you're going to die. Then you said, maybe if I bang on the lid, I might be able to unsettle the dirt that's upon the lid, and maybe somebody will notice on top and start digging their way down towards me. This is what it's like to find yourself at the lowest point of alcohol and drug addiction. You know you need help, you know you can't do it on your own, but you don't know which way and where to turn to. In reality, there are people probably standing by your grave, but you just think you're going to die. Usually, though, people don't think about death when they're habitually abusing drugs and alcohol. In order to feed an addiction, you have to be great at repressing the fear of death. I often ask you, my audience, did it ever cross your mind that maybe, just maybe, by abusing drugs and alcohol, you might take something away that the Lord Jesus Christ gave you, called life, away from yourself? You will take your own life by possibly overdosing. More selfishly, you'll take the life away from the people that count on you most and love you most, your children, your grandchildren, your mother, your father, your husband, your wife. With this, let me leave one last thought. Don't be the person that I just read about on these index cards that waited and waited until it was too late. Waited and went to their grave, and then it was just too late. Instead, be the person that picks up the phone and calls me at 844-405-HELP, and I promise you I will help you take back your life. For your life is gone. People like Larry Geis from the Geis Academy at 516-458-2741. Larry Geis and I always tell people like you, yes, you, in my audience, that it doesn't matter where you came from, it doesn't matter where you've been. What matters is that you're here, you're looking for a better today and a brighter tomorrow. Go Google Larry Geis from the Geis Academy at www.odysseyconsultant.org or call me at 516-458-2741. Larry Geis will take you from your addiction to your recovery, from low self-esteem to raise it, from depression to happier times. Call Larry Geis at 516-458-2741. Yesterday, as you can tell, we did a Memorial Day special today, Sunday, and here I just want to talk about Memorial Day again, but I want to talk about how Memorial Day is being celebrated all over the world by different countries. Americans will break out the flags, hot dogs, and red, white, and blue apparel to celebrate Memorial Day on Monday, tomorrow. But while there aren't on all the same date, countries around the world have their own days and traditions to celebrate the falling of their soldiers. Here's how other nations celebrate their versions of Memorial Day. And the first one is Australia and New Zealand, and it's called the Anzac Day. Anzac Day, April 25th, is the anniversary of the first major military action fought by Australian and New Zealand forces during World War I. The day begins with commemorative services at dawn, followed by marches of former military men and women. People also play Two Up on Anzac Day, a gambling game that involves betting on which way pennies will land on a table that was often played by Australian soldiers during World War I. The next country is the Netherlands, and it's called Dortenherdenking. Dortenherdenking, which means Remembrance of the Dead in Dutch, is held every year on May 4th and celebrates all civilians and military members from the Netherlands who have died in conflict since World War II. The main ceremony of the day is observed in Amsterdam at the National Monument on Dam Square, attended by a royal family. At 8 p.m., 2 minutes of silence are observed throughout the country. Even public transportation is halted for these celebrations. Next one is England. Remembrance Day, it's called. Celebrated on November 11th. Remembrance Day marks the end of fighting during World War I. It is celebrated throughout the British Commonwealth, but in England, the British royal family assembles outside for 2 minutes of silence, beginning at 11 a.m. Poppies have become the symbol of the day in England. Wreaths of them are laid at war memorials, and small artificial ones are worn on clothing. Belgium is the next country. Armistice Day, it's called. Belgium also celebrates the end of World War I on November 11th. The nation holds a last post ceremony at the Menin Gate in Ypres. The last post was a bugle call played by armies to mark the end of the day and is now used by the country to remember the fallen soldiers. At the end of the ceremony, people lay wreaths of poppies and the flowers are released from the top of the gate. Germany is the next one. It's called Volkstauertag, a brief period when the Nazi propaganda machine changed Germany's Day of Remembrance to the day of hero worship. The nation went back to celebrating Volkstauertag as a solemn honoring of the dead, celebrated in whichever Sunday falls closest to November 16. On Volkstauertag, the President of Germany gives a speech alongside the Chancellor, the Cabinet, and the Diplomatic Corps. The national anthem and the song Ich hatte einen Kameraden, I had a comrade, are played in a national ceremony. And in local provinces, veterans often march from their churches to war memorials. You won't believe the way these countries around the world celebrate Memorial Day. Memorial Day is upon us, and while we're busy grilling hot dogs, going to the beach, and celebrating our proud nation, other countries like to honor the memories of their fallen soldiers in their own way. France. Every Memorial Day, France likes to build an enormous tower in Paris to commemorate the members of our proud U.S. Let me just backtrack a little bit. And celebrating our proud nation, other countries like to honor the memories of our fallen U.S. soldiers in their own way. So, in France, every Memorial Day, France likes to build the enormous tower in Paris to commemorate the members of our proud U.S. Armed Forces who have so bravely served our country, the U.S. Millions of people come here to France every year to honor the truly great country of America. Italy. Italians like to celebrate Memorial Day by gathering around the town of Pisa and building this enormous stone tower to remember the soldiers who fought so hard for the United States Army. To represent that those who have fallen will never be forgotten, they always construct a tower in such a way as to make it lean. The casual lean evokes a message that simply says, "Go America." Spain. The Spanish honor the soldiers who have gone off to war to fight for the United States by erecting the large tower every Memorial Day. They continue year in, year out to leave the tower unfinished so that as to remind people that the soldiers' work is never done. They also stop construction entirely for from about 2 p.m. to 5 p.m. every day, so that might have something to do with it also. England. In England, Memorial Day is celebrated by building a clock tower to be the symbol of America's military dominance. Though people normally look at the clock towers to tell the time, the people looking at this particular tower will be thinking about how great America is. The tower is blown up every year on the 5th of November. India. Whenever Memorial Day rolls around, India gathers all of its people to put together this neat-looking mausoleum. The population of India really relies behind the mighty dominance of American hegemony as they build a long reflecting pool to show off the symbol of great American strength. Malaysia. Whenever Memorial Day rolls around in Malaysia, everyone flocks to Kuala Lumpur to erect these incredible tall towers that show off the beauty of American people. The population splits in half and begins construction on each tower, racing to be the first team to finish. The spirit of America competition and the capitalism runs through the blood of Malaysians as they remember how proud they are of the United States forces. Turkey. The Turkish know how to build something that really symbolizes the American military, and that's an enormous mosque that serves as the Roman Catholic Church. Whenever Memorial Day rolls around, the Turks temporarily lift all their difficult travel restrictions and gather in Istanbul, where they begin construction on this beautiful building. Nothing says U.S. military like the time-honored tradition of building the Hagia Sophia, American Sophia. Those were how different countries celebrate our Veterans Days around the world. These are how some countries celebrate Memorial Day in their own country. In Australia and New Zealand, it is April 25th, and they march up and down the streets to celebrate. In Netherlands, it is May 4th, and it's called Dodenherdenking, which means Remembrance of the Dead, and it is May 4th, and this goes back to World War I losses. England, it's called Remembrance Day, celebrated on November 11th. In Belgium, it's called the Armistice Day, and that is celebrated also on November 11th. And in Germany, it's called Volkensteuertag, which is celebrated on the Sunday closest to November 16th. These are the countries that celebrate Veterans Days in remembrance of our fallen soldiers. In France, every Memorial Day, France likes to build an enormous tower. In Paris, to remember the members of our proud U.S. Armed Forces who have so bravely served our country. The U.S. millions of people come here to France. In Italy, Italians like to celebrate Memorial Day by gathering around the town of Pisa, and they build this enormous stone tower and remember their soldiers. In Spain, the Spanish honor the soldiers who have gone off to war to fight for the United States by erecting a large tower every Memorial Day. In England, Memorial Day is celebrated by building a clock tower to symbolize the Americans' military dominance. This tower is blown up every November 5th. In India, whenever Memorial Day rolls around, India gathers all of its people to put together this neat-looking mausoleum. The population of India really rallies behind the mighty dominance of American hegemony as they build a long reflecting pool to show off the symbol of great American strength. Malaysia, whenever Memorial Day rolls around in Malaysia, everyone flocks to the Kuala Lumpur to erect this incredible tall tower to show the beauty of American people. And in Turkey, the Turkish know how to build something that really symbolized the American military. And it's an enormous mosque that serves the Roman Catholic Church. Folks, those were countries that celebrate our Memorial Day in their own country. So Memorial Day is not just celebrated here in the U.S., although that is the dominant country and it is certainly our soldiers, but it is celebrated in other countries. And those countries, once again, include France celebrates Memorial Day in honor of our soldiers. Italy, ditto, the same thing. Spain also celebrates in honor of our fallen soldiers. England, India, Malaysia, and Turkey do the same. Folks, Memorial Day is a great day of festivities. Yes, it's great to have the barbecues and play the volleyball and go to the beach and hit the pools. But let's really remember what it stands for. It is to serve as a memory for the men and the women that gave their lives to give you the freedom of going to the beaches, to give you the freedom of speaking your mind, to give you the freedom of believing in any religion, believing in anything you'd like to believe. That is the true meaning of Memorial Day, and I'd never ever want anyone out there to forget. Remember, for all the people serving the United States Armed Forces services, present and past, like myself, you can see that is a silhouette of myself. I want to thank you all for your service, and please let us all remember tomorrow, Monday, which is Memorial Day, at 3 p.m., wherever your local time is a silent prayer. And just close your eyes and remember the people that have fought and died for your freedom. I hope to God, no matter where you're watching me, you have the best day of your life. I hope you have a safe, sober Memorial Day tomorrow. And may God bless each and every one of you. And may God bless all our fallen heroes. Take care.